Assalamualaikum, and welcome to another edition of Community Matters. With me, your host for the evening, Faruk, Miah. Over the last 9 months that I've been doing the show, I've often received complaints that we don't have enough women guests on the show. Well, it's about to change tonight because I have an all-women panel for you. They're not just ordinary women, they are some of the most successful British Bangladeshi women in the country. As an educator, I always feel education is at the heart of social mobility and success in our community. However, it is our entrepreneurs, our businessmen and women that are innovators and wealth creators and job creators in our society. This evening I will be discussing women in business, female entrepreneurs, and with me I have the founder directors of British Bangladeshi Chamber of Women Entrepreneurs. We will learn more about the background in terms of why they were formed, how the organization came about, what their vision is, and more importantly for me, how you, the audience, and the viewers at home could potentially get involved in projects if you have a good business idea. Hopefully you'll learn more about the individuals I have on the show, and you'll be able to contact them. And we might even introduce and tell you more about some of the projects they'll be working on where you could potentially get involved. So without any further ado, let me introduce you, our guest. On my right, I have Dilara Khan, who is the president and founder, one of the founders of BBCW, and in her own right, CEO of Pilar Production, a TV production company. Dilara, welcome to the show.
Thank
you. Nearest to my left, I have Polly Islam. Polly is a director of BBCW, and she also has her own company called Zara's, which is a specialist retail outlet on modern Islamic clothing. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, and on my far left we have Nahid Nazia, who's another director of BBCW, another successful businesswoman who happens to be the CEO of Mike and Vision, another production company. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay. Very easy place to start, Dilara. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and how this whole BBCW, or the British Bangladeshi Chamber of Women Entrepreneurs, the whole idea came about.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I think in terms of myself, you've introduced myself quite nicely, so there's not a lot to add to that, apart from that I am a local person. I was raised in Tower Hamlet. I was brought up in Wapping in Tower Hamlet, so I'm a very much local Tower Hamlet girl. I spent all my life working and living in Tower Hamlet. Although most recent, for a number of years, I've moved out of the area, but most of my days spent in Tower Hamlet.
What about your career?
I started off my career in my early years in the voluntary sector as a community activist, community development worker, then moving into education in the youth service, and then my final destination, or my medium destination, in the National Health Service. And that's where I've spent most of my career work time. I was in the National Health Service for 13 years as a senior manager, head of service.
When did you decide you want to become an entrepreneur, become a businesswoman? What have you done?
I think entrepreneur is, if you ask other entrepreneurs, it's a bug in the brain, and I think it's one of those things that's throughout your life, it's always there behind your mind, whether you put it at ease in your professional work, or whether you take it out and you apply it elsewhere. And I think for me, developing my profession have always been, for a number of years, my interest, and I thought that there were other things that I wanted to do after I've had a reasonable career that I was satisfied with. And I think that's when I decided that at that point I wanted to move out, that I felt I did my duties, my commitment.
In the community. What did you decide to do?
I decided to come out. I think naturally those who are around me and my family would say that they get very bored about my creativity and I'm constantly bugging them with new ideas and new vision. So it was just actually applying that and putting that to some use, and where I came up, why I decided to do the production company is that I had my own concept. It was a television reality show which people here are aware about. It's called Forgotten Roots. So coming from that, it was necessary to actually build a...
Forgotten Roots happened, what, was it about 2 years ago?
2 years back.
It's a fantastic thing, and I remember actually coming and sitting on TV and actually telling my friends and family to watch it. It was an amazing program to actually have those individuals go through and learn more about their own history, more about their own background. It was a fantastic thing. And obviously you've taken it, it was a very successful production.
It's taken it to the next level, and I think my passion is that my passion and my commitment to production is that my background is in mass communication and broadcasting, my first education, my degree, and then going into masters into management. So I think I've always felt that my drop back is communication and broadcasting, and that's where it comes from, because I always found my ultimate passion.
So you've done lots of work around community, you've given back even with your production company, you've done something that I feel was giving to the wider community, to the wider audience. We'll come back to you before we start talking about BBC. Polly, I know you've been very successful in your retail business. I believe you've turned it into an online business as well. Tell me a little bit about your background for the benefit of our audience in terms of when you left school, university, etc. What did you go into and how did you eventually end up starting a business?
Right. I started my career as a community development officer, actually women's development officer. And then from there on, I started my own business. I've actually been an entrepreneur since the age of 14.
Since the age of 14?
You
like making money?
Thanks to my dad.
What made you want to start your own business?
As I told you, I've always been...
Well, the entrepreneurial spirit inside you.
The spirit inside me through my dad. My dad is a successful businessman. He lives in London. Like Dilara said, it's a bug within you, and that's how I started. And I'm still going since the age of 14 till now. I love doing what I'm doing.
I think often I hear there's lots and lots of people who have many different ideas, and the difference between people who are successful in business and those who are not. You guys have taken the chance. You've actually decided all those ideas running around in your head, you'll actually do something about it, as opposed to lots of us who actually have many good ideas, but don't put it into practice, or don't do the acting element of actually. I'll come back to you. Nahid, tell us a little bit about yourself and in terms of what you've done in terms of work-wise and
সেদিকে আমি বাংলাদেশ এখানে আছি 6 ইয়ার্স ধরে। তো আমি বাংলাদেশে অনেক কিছুর সাথে জড়িত ছিলাম, অনেক অর্গানাইজেশন। আমার একটা পত্রিকাও ছিল সাপ্তাহিক আকর্ষণ, আর আমি ডেপুটি ম্যানেজিং ডাইরেক্টর আমার গ্রুপ উইলস গ্রুপের। তো এখন এখানে যখন আমি চলে আসলাম, এখানে থাকছি, তখন আমি একটা মাইক এন্ড ভিশন নামে একটা মিডিয়া প্রোডাকশন হাউস করেছি। সেখান থেকে আমি প্রোফাইল ডকুমেন্টারি করেছি, 26 এপিসোড অলরেডি অন এয়ার হয়েছে।
It's been aired already? What is the program?
Profile documentary, the person, their life.
Has it been on one of the channels already, been aired?
Yeah, channel has already on air the program. আর আমি এখন আরো কিছু প্রোগ্রাম করছি, বানাচ্ছি, ডকুমেন্টারি আর অন্যান্য কাজ করছি।
That kind of nicely leads us on to the whole idea of British Bangladeshi Chamber of Women Entrepreneurs. I remember attending in the House of Lords, your big launch. So tell us a little bit about how did the whole idea actually come about in the first instance, before you even got to the launch?
Before, we even got to the launch, which was, as you said, it was a fantastic, very sort of high-impact launch. But previous to that, why, like, we have today, we have a number of my colleagues, entrepreneurs around us, and I felt, obviously, where I started my own business, and when I went out to meet other people and talking to other women, likewise, I felt that actually we have lots of support agencies nationally. You have the banks, you have other organizations, voluntary and public sector, but as a whole, for British Bangladeshi women, there isn't a specific dedicated organization where we can actually go and tap, or just likewise, just share idea and just talk about our experiences and learn from one another. And I felt that was actually, that was something that we needed, and time was right, and I think our generation now is ready for it, for us to move in. And it's a support mechanism, because as much as somebody would want to move in or explore business, but I think if you don't have the right support system, whether it's support from your family, friend, or a network, it's very difficult, no matter how brave or what a risk taker you are, it's very difficult to move ahead with that idea. So I think that's why, likewise, we talked about it, Polly. And
how did it come about? Who had the big idea, and how did it then go about? Was it you, or was it somebody else who approached you?
I had a very close friend of mine and a very sort of dear friend. We kind of sat together, and I said, well, this is something that we need, and I think he sort of agreed as well, and he said this is absolutely the right time. And
you do have on board, I remember, some very, very successful people. Of them, one of them is actually the CEO of this channel, and I believe Sabrina has given us a very short message, kind of supporting the program and BBC. If we can quickly play the clip of Sabrina, please.
British Bangladeshi Chamber of Women Entrepreneur is an organization. It was created to help and support ladies who are interested to start their own business and put their first step to the business field. And this organization has always been trying to create platforms to guide and link up those business ladies who are already in business or who is willing to start up a new business to the right direction. আমাদের সব সময় চেষ্টা থাকে আমরা যেন সাপোর্ট করতে পারি সমস্ত মহিলাদেরকে যারা চেষ্টা করছেন কিছু অ্যাচিভ করার জন্য, কমিউনিটিতে কোনো কন্ট্রিবিউশন রাখার জন্য এবং তাদের নতুন বিজনেস নতুন করে শুরু করার জন্য। যারা নতুন করে বিজনেস অলরেডি শুরু করেছেন কিন্তু স্ট্রাগল করছেন, তাদেরকেও আমরা চেষ্টা করি টু লিঙ্ক আপ টু দ্য রাইট ডাইরেকশন, তাদেরকে গাইড করা এবং যেখান থেকে ওনারা বিজনেস অ্যাডভাইস ট্রেনিং পেতে পারেন ওনাদেরকে সেই সমস্ত জায়গায় গাইড করা। সো এই জন্যই আমাদের 29শে জানুয়ারি British Bangladesh Chamber of Women Entrepreneur is organizing an event, a seminar workshop in Idea Store, where different sorts of business people will come and network, mingle with each other and find out opportunities within their field. So I would welcome all of you to come and আমাদের সাথে join করার জন্য. How enthusiastic they are.